a quick reminder of what we will explore today. We will have a presentation on soulmate manifestation. Then we will go through a soulmate awakening meditation, and finally a moment of Q&A to answer all your questions. We wanted for the Q&A to be the big part of the presentation because if we are doing a live Zoom, recording teaching could be anywhere.
The idea is to make it the most personalized experience possible. So you have us here. I think that will be the most enriching part of this presentation.
Yeah, please feel free to write down any questions or doubts that arise during the session, and we will open a spacious time at the end to answer them all. Existential questions.
Oop.
If love is something so natural, why does it feel difficult, full of obstacles? And the question behind this for us is, why is it that so many conscious people, those who meditate, did all the healing, therapy, read sacred books, still end up alone or in relationships that don't truly expand them? Generally, we know that there are many reasons. We have cultural, our own minds are full of thoughts and beliefs systems, our experience, even our personal experience. So if you have a specific question about this topic, again, please feel free to write it down so we may go deeper on that, because if we wanted to talk about all the blockages there are about soulmate manifestation, we could be talking for hours.
A little addition to what we said before, we're talking about love in a expanded way of seeing it. So we're also talking about our own self-love, for example, that I think is one of the most important things we have to develop in order to have a relation with another person.
Yes. And I believe one of the biggest milestone for us that we really have to take in is the soulmate manifestation. It's not something common. It's not something ordinary. It's truly extraordinary. We have to go through all those ideas that we typically have about relationships.
The ancient sage say that manifesting your soulmate is the ultimate manifestation possible for an individual. Then our collective manifestation, but it's not the topic for today.
It's not like just meeting a new random person, a friend, someone you have chemistry with. But as Or said, it's one of the most powerful manifestational soul can even experience. This is not something that we made up, but it's been said. And the merging of two souls that come from the same divine source at that level of energy, of love, of power requires a preparation,
yes,
a journey.
I really believe that the key for solving all problems in humanity start with soulmates. That's one of the things that make it more difficult. Like the world resists joining soulmate because they will have such power that will ultimate remove power for all people that is in power right now and things like that. And of course, they don't want to lose their power, and that make it harder.
And in a very personal way, how are you sure that you're looking through the lenses of your soul in the moment of meeting someone? And that is a challenge for us, because we are so used to one way of meeting people, of falling in love, even of living our daily lives. And is it through soul, or is it more through personality, through our limited minds, or through all cultural behaviors? So yeah, we need to start learning the difference between soul living or just normal kind of living.
Just the world falling in love is very revealing what pattern we have in our subconscious, because falling in love, like falling, no, it's not what really happened when you're
building
exactly your soulmate or your own soul. You're rising to meet your soul and rising in love, meeting your soulmate.
Instead of falling in love, rising in love. I like it. But even though it requires a preparation and apparently is one of the hardest manifestation, we believe anyways that we are living through an extraordinary moment on history of Earth. I believe so many people have noticed that there is a awakening, this state of consciousness, and spirituality is every day more normal to experience these awakenings all over. And this is not only personal, there's also a cosmic energy, a astral energy that it's unfolding.
Yes, many cultures, many sage, wise men has talked about this era. It's not weird that now is happening all of these things. So in this moment is when the energy, the world, the technology even,
Yeah, AI, right?
yeah, is helping us to achieve everything, including finding our soul. There are many teaching online to help you grow your soul, and it's so easy to meet person nowadays. You have internet, so
Yeah, we have had internet for a while though, but
no, it's not the same. It's really everything is easier now. You,
mm,
you have mobile internet. You can be in very far away places, and you still have connection.
maybe we are not aware enough of how powerful that is. We just believe it's something normal, but it's actually kind of miraculous.
Just in every way, in energetic technology, as I say, we just have to stick into our inner job. That's the most important thing to go through this process. It's hard, but it's everything set to make it easier. But this is the moment. And I want to add another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ancients say when someone has a blessing, they can bless others. So we match each other. So now we can bless everyone present here to have the same blessing. So
Yeah, definitely. So because we made it, we know that is your turn. If you are here, you already received our blessing. If you are reading our emails, you are in the frequency of the blessing that we are sharing constantly with the world in order to everyone manifest their soulmate, to start relating from that level of awareness, from a deep level of connection with our truest nature, not just romantic relationships. Of course, that is something we all want, but all kinds of relationship based more on soul than other aspects. As a couple, we have observed, studied, and decoded what really happens when two souls find each other consciously. This ancient wisdom, modern science, and real stories, they all point the same pattern. And now, for the first time, we're ready to share it with anyone who feels called to go all in into this process. We call this pattern the Soulmate Manifestation Blueprint. And the Soulmate Manifestation Blueprint is not something that we created. It's not that we just took a pen and a paper and said, like, oh, we're going to create a Soulmate Manifestation Blueprint. It's something that we observed, that we stepped on, that we have been able to understand. Not created by us, created by the universe, but observed by us and shared in a way that it's easy to understand for everyone.
yeah, it's like the universe is in a energy saving process, and everything that creates, it's using the same patterns. Like you see the stars, and then you look into this microscope and kind of see the same in cells, in atoms, and quantum physics. It's more crazy that how things resemble. So it's not different for our inner being and our relations, our life, the events of our life, our manifestations.
In a very personal way, it took us a little bit longer to manifest each other. Maybe we should have met more years ago. But because we didn't have the clear notion that there was a specific pattern, we just had to figure it out on our own. But we're always thinking like, oh, I would love to know this sooner. If someone would have explained this to me with this level of clarity, we probably would have met earlier. And that's what we want. If you are meant to find your soulmates many years from now, we want to close that gap that's happening today. And for many of you that already manifested the soulmate, because some people told me like, oh, I love your work, I already manifested my soulmate, you may take this like a relationship coaching. It's always very beneficial to know how soulmates work, not only in the desire to attract that person, but also within the relationship in order to how to relate with each other. You've been so nice to be here, and people that are going to listen to the recording, we have a special offering to you. There is a question in the chat. Katerina says, what I am experimenting is that I am so concerned in giving that maybe still have to develop the vessel to receive.
Yes, very interesting. The universe, like in a very basic biological level, women are recipients. Their main function is to receive. Then they can give. So in other level, happen the same. For a woman, the focus shouldn't be giving. The focus is more knowing how to receive and what to receive. Filter what is really good to receive, because you will be multiplying that, you know? So a woman in a bad relationship tend to reproduce a bad life. But if you're really working in yourself, for example, and that is also receiving, life will mirror that pattern and you will receive more and more. Then the focus is to give.
It's nice when you start studying ancient Hebrew mysticism. When they speak about relationship, they have this idea of, if you want to have a happy marriage, they tell to the man, happy wife, happy life, happy marriage, happy everything. So it's very natural for a spiritual man to want to give you everything. This is something that I experienced with Or in such a way. It's so beautiful. And this man is all the time trying to fulfill this vessel, this emptiness that sometimes we are. As women, we crave so much. That's something we have to not fall into this constant necessity of more, of feeling that nothing is enough. It happens so much because we are a vessel. We tend to crave. And the spiritual level of that is, I believe, being in this pleasure of how it feels to be receiving. And this goes beyond receiving something physically. It's
and beyond receiving for yourself.
And beyond receiving only for yourself. It's beyond. That's why when we created this Soulmate Manifestation Blueprint, one of the first things we do is to focus on the purpose, the intention, the will. Where is the direction of your energy? Where are you going? So you may be the vessel to receive this thing that is flowing through you. Because, yeah, as Or said, biologically, we have the womb that receives, but then, for example, we have the milk from our breasts. So we give. It's being a woman is kind of powerful. From a Kabbalistic perspective, one woman, it's equals to 10 men.
Yes.
For the feminine to be ready, it's super important in order for soulmate manifestation to happen. I want to present to you an offer that it's so exciting for us to share with you how we want to teach this soulmate manifestation blueprint step by step.
This will be the next step for getting closer to finding the soulmate as soon as possible.
So this is the Soulmate Awakening Challenge. We call it challenge because we want it to be very engaging to understand soul level love. So this challenge gives you the map, the blueprint, the algorithm you need to know and understand in order to manifest your soulmate. And we did it especially because we would love to teach everything live soon, but it would be like a 5-hour or 7 or maybe 10 hours masterclass. So we definitely had to record it, cut it, and be able to put it in smaller chunks so it's easier to integrate. And it helps you go deep on spirituality, to this spiritual clarity, into practical actions. And what you will learn in this 7-day guided inner journey are these 7 topics, different stages of understanding the soulmate manifestation process. In day 1, we will go through answering, what are soulmates? And how can I know that something is a soulmate or not?
Yes, we'll establish some basis to have the same concept about things so we can understand each other.
Yeah. And also to open our own definitions. It's meant to open our minds, awareness, and consciousness. In day 2, we will go through the true purpose of soulmates. And what we mean about this is, in all our research on spirituality and how the universe works, we've seen, as Or mentioned, that there's a fractal, there's a pattern, there's an intelligence, a mathematical intelligence. Everything in the universe has its own place. And soulmates also have their own place in creation. So we will share with you so you may align with that. You will align with the deepest purpose of relationships that will make yes or yes for the energies to start flowing in that direction.
I want to add, we will be finding, because we're also doing the challenge with you.
Of course.
So Soulmate will not be limited just to your partner. It will be also a path to know your own soul and know your soul brothers and co-workers, etc.
Yes. On day 3, we will talk about the concept of unity and polarity. This is also very important to know. And if you don't understand why it would be important to go through this, we will teach it deeply because it helps us to connect to something really deep. In day 4, we will show this energetics, magneticism that goes between masculine and feminine energies and the different roles that these different energies have into soulmate manifestation. In day 5, we will get to know how manifestation works from a perspective of the tree of life, which is absolutely amazing. And Ora here is one of the most experts on this topic. He really loves the tree of life, and he's seen how everything connects through this map. And specifically, of course, we will share with you how, with the tree of life, you would manifest a soulmate.
Yeah. Usually autistic people focus on something and know everything about it. So some people know about dinosaurs and know everything about dinosaurs. I'm the same, but with the tree of life.
Yes.
And this is the huge thing in the world. It's so big, so many info you can know from the tree of life. It's amazing.
In day 6, it would be that may feel like little details, but they are so important to close the gap between the dream, the desire to manifest your soulmate, and for that to actually happen. So yeah, a very necessary observation.
Yeah, I hope right now you are tasting some of the reality of soulmate relationship, because you have one in front of you, and we are blessing you to have the same blessing as sooner as possible.
Yes, and if you are already with your soulmate, be mindful of you have the power right now to bless others in order to manifest their soulmate. So many of the meditations that we will share with you are about that global awakening, this global manifestation. And day 7 will be all about integration and the hack for eternal expansion. We know that it's so common to be in a journey of spiritual awakening and suddenly get stuck or block. How do you go through that? How you keep expanding no matter what happens? We will share with you in day 7 and day 8 that we have a little bonus.
Wow, spoiler.
Yeah. So yeah, each day of the challenging teaching class, a meditation, and a soul with a prompts of exercises so that you may integrate everything. So if you're ready for more, this Soulmate Challenge starts of November 12th. It means next week. So what we want is for all of us to start together, to be a group of people doing this. There's not a specific hour of a day you have to do it. You have the entire 24 hours to go through day 1, day 2, day 3, and also you will have eternal access to it. We won't take it from you. If you couldn't join us exactly on the 7 days from November the 12th, you still will have it available, so you may see it whenever you can.
Yeah, if you want to do the challenge one more time, it's good to go.
Or many other times.
Yes.
If you feel like, yes, sign up today and walk with us from the beginning of this journey, because we are launching this project and we want for people to easily go through it and give us their testimonials of the experience. We will be offering for this time only pay what you want. So we're suggesting $32 for the experience, and 32, it's a very important and powerful number in numerology, in Kabbalistic numerology. But if 32 sounds like too much for you, or too little, you're open to support us with as little as $1 or how much you want for us this moment of huge beginning, huge starting. Yep. Remember that we have the meditation afterwards, this, and the Q&A. We will answer all your questions.
Okay. Oh, so 32. Why this number is so special is the number of the tree of life, because the tree of life is composed of 10 dimensions, 10 big spheres, and 22 paths. The same 22 of the tarot, they are in Hebrew letters and compose the connections between these 10 dimensions. So that is in a 2D graphic, but in deep, this 32 number is the number of vortex complex 5-dimensional hypercube. So it's a huge geometry, and that's the geometry of the universe. In quantum physics, some scientific research in doing some math to know how the universe works. When this variable was set to 10 dimension, the equations fit. Other numbers don't fit. So they say because of that, our universe has 10 dimensions. Right now, we can feel three dimensions.
Typically.
If we add time, we can talk about 4 dimensions. So we're talking about 10. Where are the other 6? It's something that we can answer from the tree of life.
Yeah. In simple words, 32 represents wholeness, completeness. And from that feeling of wholeness, it's a very nice place to manifest a soulmate. It's a sweet spot. That said, we did this presentation. We didn't want it to take all the time because your questions are so important for us. Now we're going to a meditation. It is a huge blessing. We want you to feel, to have, to experience. And I don't know, maybe that would be it. And then you will find your soulmate tomorrow. It's always a possibility. You need to know that your soulmate is already today in your field. It's happening.
You receive a call today, a message on your phone.
Yeah,
find it in the street.
Keep absolutely open, but never fixated, never obsessed, because obsession doesn't help. Obsession like drives your soulmate away. It's delicate, but it's an art.
Yeah, we don't have you to marry the first person you met in the street.
Please don't. So yeah, remember to write down your questions or doubts. We want to just say welcome. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to this process. You're here. You're in this field together. Feel free, please, to stretch. Maybe you need to stand up, sit down a little bit, grab some water, or simply just settle into the space before the meditation. We will pause. So gently just feel your breath. However that is comfortable to you right now. It may be with your eyes open still or with your eyes closed. You want to feel the subtle sensation of the temperature of the air that goes in and out through your nose. If for some of you it's a little weird, it's okay. It takes practice to be able to relax this much. We will trust that your body is relaxing. That your mind is relaxing. You're surrendering. Surrendering deeper, deeper into your highest being, your highest self. Right here, right now, you're only light. It feels so liberating, so energizing, so expansive. And I want you to feel or remember that you're a tree, a multi-dimensional tree, and your roots are on the infinite. You bring in energy from the infinite dimensions. You are a being from the infinite dimension. Everything here is abundant, follows easily your imagination. We will send a sweet and deep hello or greetings. And feel that there's the whole universe connected into one sound, one frequency. You feel the high, the blessings of infinite beings. Feels so nice. Such a great company. Some of you may connect with teachers of old or angels or just abstract beings of light. Maybe you connect with yourself. And with all these beings together, especially this community that is gathering right now with the intention to manifest their soulmates and or the intention to help others manifest their soulmates. We will create a circle, a huge circle, very thick, full of beings around our galaxy. So every being has their path absolutely open for connecting through the soul. It becomes easy, normal, intuitive. This is a very huge amount of energy moving through in and out. All layers of reality happening right here, right now, and we feel gratitude. And also kind of a smile of, my God, this is really happening. So exciting. And now we may see the earth and we will sense everyone that has this subtle ache on their hearts, feeling like I don't want more relationships that feel that have this missing part. And we will imagine that every single person that feels in some way lonely, too weird, too empathic, too extraterrestrial, maybe too neurodivergent, for everyone that feels like are not fitting into the society we've built. We will connect deeply with all the people in the world and send them a blessing, like an energetic hug, saying, we are here and we are one. This is the time for all of us to meet and to co-create a new humanity, a new reality where everyone connects with one another. Through the deep awareness of our wholeness, all the dimensions, everything together. So the path towards enlightenment or spiritual completion, it's easier, lighter, fulfilled with community, with soul tribe, with soulmates. And we change the entire world. So right now, I just want each one of you to see how this unfolds in your own imagination, how your own soul guides you in this process. Exactly where you are, you will receive a message or a picture or maybe just a subtle sensation. You will connect right now with your soul, with your soulmates in plural, and let the energy flow however it wants to flow. You may place your hands on your heart and be so grateful just to know that all of this is already unfolding. It's already happening. And to just sit there in the happening, in the unfolding of all these wonders that are coming in your life from the infinite. It's just easier. Feeling the connection of all the hearts and sending love. Just a, I love you. And feel the love that you're receiving. I love you too. And with this, we will do some 3 last deep breaths before stretching, coming back to earth, grounding into the planet, connecting with nature, and staying alert, awake with deep awareness. Always before opening the eyes, I always recommend to stretch. Maybe just because I like to do it that way. And when you're ready, you just open your eyes. We would love to know your experience in meditation. It's also part of the training.
Yes, we already speak about this spiritual topic, so we are training our conceptual mind, or rational mind.
With the theoretical class.
Exactly. So now we meditate and train the creative part of the mind, our imagination, our intuition. So now what we're going to do is share. So we are sharing our experience in meditation, expressing what happened in this meditation. And that is what strained the connection between these two. And
hemispheres of the brain, yeah.
And these are the real train. If you are exercising this bridge, you will be growing better in the spiritual path. If you just train one or the other, you will be in a half training.
It's so interesting how I believe all ancient schools that I've joined, they say, study, meditate, and contemplate. Keep doing it over and over again. And that's huge. Do you want to share a little bit about your meditation experience?
Oh, what can I say? I flew very, very away,
Okay.
almost not hearing your voice, but was in this deep feeling of love and very happy and joyful to sending this energy to all beings and see them joining them one to another it was a kind of a musical harmonic pattern.
Okay.
You know, when you like put sand into a instrument and then make some sound, this like sort in some specific pattern. Like that way. Like we are creating a
field?
Exactly, kind of a field of a harmonical field. So in that way,
likely that wants to be part of.
Yeah. We cannot. This is my soul cut.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Saying first time was intense, a nice embrace with our loved all relations. Yeah. So now we will take time if you have questions.
There is one.
Send a couple of questions. She says, what really troubles me about the concept of soulmate is what it seems specifically about humans. How does this look in a more integral sense in the universe? Animals have soul? Oh, that was a lot of questions. Do they have soulmates? The question is soulmates just a human thing? Nice question.
Yes, I'm not sure about it. I haven't never heard someone share this specific information, but I have heard that animals has a more collective soul,
Like consciousness.
like less ego for saying the less. So they are more like a pattern than us that can have a free will. It's say that animals don't have free will as we does. Of course, they apparently have their own choices. Like he chose to be with me in his second incarnation and maybe more. I met a lot of cats really equal to this, and it's like they keep coming. Horrible things happen to some, but they keep coming. And there's a movie about this with dogs, and so I totally believe that. I kind of answered less than a half of the question.
Yeah, if I may, the concept of soul, it's a little bit more complex than we tend to believe. So normally we would say one person, one soul, and we have these very binary ways of seeing it. Something that we actually go a little bit deeper in the challenge is that even from the Kabbalah perspective, there are levels of the soul. Like the soul has levels of awareness. Something that Ors mentioned, and I was like, oh, geez, this is so crazy. They say that one person may have different or multiple souls. So the concept of soul that we have today, it's not exactly the complex concept of soul. So you may say that there's levels of the soul and specific characteristics of it, and that animals hold one aspect and we hold other aspects, and we, at the end of the day, everything is one thing. So that's why the tree of life is so much fun, because the tree of life shows you that there's so many elements and so many layers and so many levels, but at the end we're just one tree.
When we already start a spiritual journey, we start to connect more and more with other levels of soul. Next level of soul is the one we already know in dreams. We are having that bridge between another dimension, and then we go deeper and deeper in another 2 levels of soul. So we usually are in the level of survival, and if we are lucky enough, we get teachings and practice and start to connect it with something more. In other cases, especially for some women, they already have a very high connection, but still don't have other levels of soul that help you to balance. So many women has too much connection and go like too scary, seeing things and not understand them. So other level of soul is more of the understanding, for example. So if you have the 2, you're good to go. But just one of those, you are in trouble.
She says that it's very intuitive for her to feel that the soul is not one elemental thing. So yeah, we have 2 ways of representing the tree of life. There's probably millions of ways seeing the tree of life. We love to apply it to everything. You may apply it to your soul, to your personality, to your body, to a relationship, to a concept. So there may be the concept of universal law. Every universal law may be seen within the idea of a tree of life. So it is said also that there's, from this same school, the concept of 5 levels of the soul. And I believe that the one that is maybe more intuitive is the nefesh. And the nefesh, every time I hear about it, it reminds me of the concept of chi in other spirituality, like the energy to be alive, the life energy that flows through all beings. That's nefesh.
It's the difference between someone alive or someone dead. So you can be unconscious, you hit your head, God forbid, but you're still alive, you're still breathing automatically. So what is that? The nefesh. So all living thing has nefesh. If they are in this world and are alive, yes or yes, nefesh.
And then we go into these other layers of soul, and personally for me they are very complex. Like I'm not sure how aware I am about my own nefesh, my own chi. Sometimes I have my hands and feet crazy cold. Sometimes I have a pain and I don't feel it.
Yes.
Have this unbalance in my energy, my vital energy. And that's a disconnection from even this very basic level of the soul. So the other levels of the soul, the highest, and highest we also may say like the deepest inside. High is not out there. This is inside of ourselves. It's kind of tricky to connect with those
Yes,
aspects.
we don't know how to heal the body, but the body have all that intelligence. So that's the nefesh doing the stuff. So
The intelligence
if
of
we
the body.
really have full access to the nefesh, we will be in a really amazing level of soul
Maybe no sickness.
for the least.
Probably no sickness or eternal youth if we really knew how to flow with the nefesh. So I don't know if we will talk more of this because we could be a lot of hours, but we do want you to expand the concepts that we usually have and to see that there's so much more to learn.
Yes, the thing that I can say is that, yes, this is so big and so complex, but at the same time, it's simple. Because, for example, you can divide this diagram in 4 levels. So you have the physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, spiritual level.
Body, emotion, intellect, and the soul.
Yeah, I use the word spirit to refer to this bigger dimension because all level has a specific soul. So you have many souls and you can access to them with study, practice, reflection, changing some habits, purifying the body.
Yeah. And just from this perspective, and this is something that we want to share with you deeper on the challenge, it is said that this is the spiritual realm over here, and the energy flows this way. We see like
it's a spiral.
Yeah, we see this like this, but it's actually like that. If we see it from above, if it was more 3-dimensional.
Yeah, like galaxies.
So here's the spiraling, the energy. And this is what we call the physical realm, which represents only the 1% of reality. So everything we believe to be, even the stars and the planets and everything within them, is just the 1%.
Yes, and with that happens exactly the same with our consciousness. Only the less than the 1% will be really conscious for us. All that really matter will be this other 99% that is subconscious. It's in our inner self. So we have to explore it. We need meditation for that.
Meditation helps explore this deepest aspect of our soul.
Yes, and the study will give you clues. So where to look, when to look, and things like that. And then we do the reflection. Contemplation. But in the practice is talking about it. You already study, meditate, everything is within yourself. But this exercise to express in the physical world will help you. If
we think a little bit about it, from this perspective here, we are all one. We are all with our soulmates, and we are all in, let's say, like in unity, in wholeness, and everything. And then from that, we start bringing this light into this process until we manifest it. And that's what we will share with you step by step, how this works within soulmate manifestation. From below to above seems to be the experience of life. Nice. Actually, it is said that it's a constant flow. So from above to below to above, and go on and so on. It's a constant flow of energy. But because we are in this reality that we feel so limited, that what we want is to bring like this unlimited into the world, and we tend to go up in order to bring down. But it's like everything is correlated in this map.
Yes, you have to understand that it's 99%, 1%. It's the connection, but it's not that equal. It's not yin and yang. It has more of the light within than the light we see in the real physical world.
And they say emotion is closer to the material kingdom than the intellect. Yes, the intellect is closer to our true self.
Yes, for the same reason, we tend to fall into emotion and react so fast. Something makes you angry and you're already, I don't know, punching someone.
Or crying.
Yes. So we need to go to a higher level. So we go to the level of the intellect, and it's not enough. We go to the level of the spiritual, and then we really have the joystick of your own life. At the level of the reasoning, you can be a postdoctorate and many things, and somehow it's not enough.
I would like to say that the ancient concept of intellect or mind, it's a lot deeper than what we usually think it's our brain and how it functions. Because we were trained since we're little children in school to think in a very tiny box, we tend to believe that that's the intellect. But the intellect is composed by like huge virtues.
The order is first the light. That's what we really are. So first the baby, for saying some way. The baby is always happy, is laughing. The essence of the baby is being happy. True order is this essence of the baby. Then we add some layer of thinking. If you really think about something, you can change the emotion. Something that really make you hunger, I don't know. They are just angry, yeah. Or the other thing also.
Maybe yeah, actually.
Something can really, I don't know, injustice, and you can be, oh, and this is so unfair. But if you really think what happened, maybe you discover the things are not that binary. Maybe more to the story, and then you say, oh, okay, now I understand. The understanding of things can change the emotion. If it's about emotion, the emotion can disappear.
Yeah.
And for positive emotion also can appear with higher intellect. If you know how to resolve a problem, you're no longer stressed about it.
Or anxious.
If you really have the wisdom, you are more peaceful. Mm-hmm. If you are, when I'm talking about wisdom, I, of course, talking about deep stuff. So wisdom give us light in dark moments.
When we talk about the intellect, you may say that we're talking about kindness, strength, and beauty or ethic. So what is intellect from the perspective of a tree of life? Is kindness and strength, power, and have this beauty of life and ethics and values.
Harmony between things.
We shared a lot. We hope it brings a lot of things to think about. That's just what moves us in life, to keep being philosophical about stuff and going deeper. We are so glad we did this.
I want to read that. It's so good comment.
And you want me to read it?
Yes.
Okay. It says that there's a new progressive spiritual wave that puts so much value on emotion and kind of devalues the intellect, so it's refreshing to hear. Yeah, and there's so many types of misconceptions, and spirituality has, because it's something so intangible, we tend to believe that everything is possible in spirituality. Like everything I come up, it's true. That's why we've been so intense on our studies. In ancient wisdom, there's like a science of it to see like what fits or doesn't fit with the real nature of reality, which is hard for us to see as human beings, typically.
Just for me, giving an example, I used to be a really ungrateful person. It's my nature, be too much critic about myself, everything else. So that's bring me a lot of this unpleasant emotion. But really, when I start studying and make more sense that what things are in the real way to be, you have a roof, you have more
wealth
than kings of the past. So kings with entire kingdom at their disposal don't have that many horsepowers in their chariots or the heat of the house. They have to use fire.
Yeah, we may think even about big palace, they didn't have a bathroom.
More important is if they want to receive teachings of someone, they has to travel. Our Lama has to travel to study
to India.
Yeah, he traveled to India. He has plane, very comfortable. But even in that way, we have internet now. It's even easiest to study, to meditate, to everything. So only looking at that, we can be more grateful just because of you look at it. If you ignore it, you will not be grateful about that thing. But if you just know it, it's something at the level of the mind. You're just like, oh my God, that's so nice. Thank you, people who create internet, and thank you, master who spend all their life studying and sharing. So there's a lot to have good emotions. So we don't have to focus that much on emotion. Of course, it's so good to do therapy and watch emotion and work with them, but
and know how to handle emotion.
But at the level of the mind, you can
bring
balance awareness to the emotion and everything else. Yes.
The definition of intellect is so important. And the more you understand these deep teachings, you know that it's huge and it's very powerful. And this is something that it's important to know. Whether you believe that intellect is important or not, it still creates reality. It's still very powerful. So that's why when we are full of dark thoughts, we will be co-creating a dark reality. As Or said, he had ungrateful thoughts and feelings, and he was bringing into his life all this same energy he put outward. So we just have always to be mindful about our mind. It's powerful.
And yes, intellect is the master of the emotions, and sometimes the intellect is so fast, you're like an antenna capturing so many thinking. So what's the master of the intellect then? When the intellect is so pussy. So there is the breathing, for example, and it's an spiritual too. Actually, the word spirit, it's breath, giving breath.
Breathing too? Like
Insufflation. You're receiving the air. That's insufflation.
And that's spirit? Wow. Okay, my love, we need to definitely close. So talking about being grateful and gratitude, thank you so much for being with us. We are very open to answering any further questions through email. We invite you to join us on the 7-day challenge and see you soon. Receive all the blessings and let's manifest everyone's soulmates, soul tribe, soul project, and make this world a soulful world.